Good morning, guys. Morning, everybody. I know a lot of people have been anxiously waiting for this video. It's just been a crazy night and I guess a busy morning. I actually just got back from the SAP to open my official case of assault. Okay, so I did say I was gonna let everyone know what happened and my experience as to what took place yesterday. So Rob went back to work yesterday. It was just the kids and I at home. Um, so where we live, we've been here for December was actually 3 years. We have a newish person in our complex, so it's just like a block away, not even a block away from us, downstairs. I think she moved in maybe October last year. And I know when I said I was attacked, the first thing people thought, and I think it's the most natural thing, is that I was attacked by some thugs. No, I wasn't. I was attacked by a mother of four who lives in my complex. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. So they moved in last year, October, and since then, she's never been home. She's got four kids, as I said, all under the age of 16, and they are unsupervised most of the time. So a lot of stuff has been taking place, obviously with them not being supervised. Where last week sometime I had my sons and some of their friends come over and tell me about like things that's been happening outside when they're playing soccer and outside the house of these kids. So things such as we have a 12-year-old boy whose name is Jaden. He lives in the complex. He normally plays soccer with my sons. Jaden's befriended the two younger girls. I think they're 9 and 11. And the boys were complaining that whenever he sees these girls, he'll call them, not by their names, but he'll say, please come suck my penis, and the one boy asked him why does he do that, and he said because that's what they do for him. Now, me personally, being a stay-at-home mom, I can look into their unit, so I can see them downstairs, and I've seen Jaden there quite a few times. Whether this thing actually happens, I don't know, but obviously, it kind of disturbs me. It doesn't sit well with me. And then the other incident was Eden, my 6-year-old, came a week ago knocking on our door at probably like 1, 2 in the morning saying she's scared. And in my mind, I couldn't understand why she's scared because, in my house, my children will watch age appropriate shows and movies and. So we asked her what's wrong, and she said, no, one of the girls, the 11-year-old, was telling them about some movie that's on box office and she made them scared, and now she has all these images in her head. So again, kids not being supervised, they obviously get to watch whatever they want to, do whatever they want to. And then I think it was a month or so ago, because we've been here so long and our kids play with probably half the complex children. I know all of them. Rob knows all of them. So the bigger boys normally play soccer with our sons, or Rob will play soccer with them. So there was a day where Rob stopped them and said to them, guys, stay focused on school, because Rob noticed that they were at this house a lot, because there's a 16-year-old girl there. They were at this house a lot, and we would hardly see the boys, but now we were like seeing them all the time. If they're not sitting in the park with this girl, they're in the swimming pool with her. So just a whole lot of stuff was happening. So he stopped the boys and said to them, guys, be careful, stay focused, school is important, and don't get distracted, by girls and all these things. So that's the incidents that's obviously taken place. Now, last week when I heard about the private part matter, I was very disturbed by it. So I went downstairs, knocked on the door, asked the kids opened. I asked if the mom was home. They said no, she's not home. I asked when will she be back. They said they don't know. I said, look, I need to speak to an adult about what I need to address. So the bigger sister came to the door and she said her mother's not home. They don't know when she's coming back. I said, look, if your mother does come back tonight, please ask her to come see me. I'm from number 29. She's not back tonight, ask her to come by the next day. If she sees the blue golf, I'm at home, she must please come. This is last week, I think Tuesday, no, maybe Wednesday, sometime. She never came. At no point did she come. Yesterday, we have our security guard. His name is Chris. Chris knows us very well, and Chris knows that if my kids are outside and they're up to no good, their father's given him permission to bring them home immediately. And my kids know I will sort you out right then and there. If you are wrong, and you need to take your wrong and own up to it. So anyway, Chris brought Zoe and Eden home. Zoe is half in tears. I asked Chris what happened. Chris says, no, the little boy from number 28, who's 5 years old, is busy with crackers and he has a box of matches outside. Now again, which parent gives their 5-year-old crackers and a box of matches to light outside without any supervision? Again, to me, that's just being irresponsible. So anyway, he had all the kids, the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds in a circle with all these crackers looking at the crackers. So Chris was saying that his concern is that, something could go in someone's eye, someone could get burnt because these are little kids not being watched. So anyway, I said, thank you. Then I said to Chris, look, I was there last week to speak to the mother, but she wasn't there. I feel like this unsupervision business is now getting a bit out of hand, where the kids are doing things that they're being negligent in what they're doing because they could hurt the next person, and if underage sex is happening in that house, it's something that needs to be addressed because it's not okay. Anyway, Chris left. When I was done speaking to Chris, about 2 minutes later, she knocks on my door. I've never seen this woman. I've never met her. Like I said, she works out. So I've never seen her. From the time she's moved in here, I haven't seen her. Never seen her, never met her, nothing. She comes to my door, does not say, hi, my name is, I'm from number, I'm here to discuss the kids. Can I come in for us to discuss? None of that. Off the bat, she starts like shouting and talking at the top of her voice and do I live here and like she was just really going on. So anyway, I told her why. I was at your door knocking. This is what I wanted to discuss with you and every time I spoke, she interrupted me. So I got to a point because the kids were inside and I said to her, you know what? I feel like you came to react. You didn't come to listen to what I have to say. So you're here to defend your children and you're here to take offense to everything that I say. Based on that, I feel like the two of us cannot have a conversation. Once you get to a point where you feel like you want to listen to me, then maybe we can have a conversation. With that being said, I closed my gate. Now, we've got a burglar gate, but during the day, it's not locked because the kids are in and out. It's water, it's juice. So I've got like a stopper at the gate for it to stay closed. But like if the girls come, they can literally just pull the gate open to get in. It's just easier, instead of having to unlock, lock, and the whole day. So anyway, I pushed the gate closed and I said to her, when you're ready, we'll have a conversation. So as I turned my back to walk away, she starts swearing at the top of her voice that I am just the most ugliest words. Again, I have never met this woman, but I was being called. My children was being called names. Like she was going on for herself, like at the top of her voice. I didn't entertain her. I kept walking. Now our gate has got this, there's a particular sound it makes the minute you pull it open. So I think Rob and I are so in tune with that sound, especially with the kids, that the minute I heard that sound, I turned around. And as I turned around, she was in my house. Like she was in the house swearing at the top of her voice. Anyway, we got to the kitchen. We kind of had a tug moment in the kitchen. I she had on like a stretchy dress. So what I did is I took my left arm and I literally wrapped her dress around my arm, um, on the chest. So I just had a dress wrap and I had my left arm like pinned to her throat. And all I kept saying to her is, before I hurt you, leave my house. But I was screaming it at the top of my voice. My daughters started screaming, which automatically made me angry because, as a mother, how do you go into someone's house and disrespect them like that? Number one, swearing them and calling them all kinds of names and you don't even know the person. Number two, how do you go into someone's house and do that, attack the mother of that house and their children is there and you can hear the children screaming? Now, for me, Eden is, I think we've sheltered her from a lot of stuff, you know. So this was her first time seeing things like this happen, you know. Like with Zoe and the kids, you know, they've obviously seen, whether it's family or friends or whatever, fight. But with Eden, she's never seen anything like that. So for her, this was hectic. Like she was crying. And then at some point, Ethan came to the kitchen, but he was on the other side of the counter, and he was screaming at her, telling her to get out of the house and to leave me alone. And she looked at Ethan, and she gave him this look like I want to go for you. And I won't lie, you cannot come into my house, attack my children, and expect me to smile and be nice with you, because it's not going to happen. Like I pinned her proper. She was in my sink, and I said to her, try me. Try me. And go for my children. Today is the day that I will probably hurt you, but try me. She kept quiet. All I kept saying to her is, get out of my house. But I was screaming. So I had her in such a position that she couldn't really move. Her arms couldn't really move much. All she could do with her left arm was like try and pull my left arm away so that I could, or pull the right arm away so that the left arm could kind of move so that she could get some kind of movement. But she couldn't move at all. So that's why it's most of my right side that is bruised, because of her trying to pull me away. So with all of this happening, she's still screaming and swearing and carrying on for herself and calling my children names and all these things. And my neighbor, his name is Sean. Sean has never been in my house, ever. Sean is actually a drug addict. You know, he's got his own problems and issues and all of that. Sean walked into the house and I kind of I kind of saw him at the corner of my eye walking in, but I think he thought everything was happening in the lounge because he walked past the kitchen. And all I said is, Sean, get this woman out of my house before I do something that I will regret. And then he came into the kitchen and he didn't want to touch her, and all he kept telling her is, ma'am, you need to get out of this house. You cannot walk into someone's house and attack them like this, and you cannot attack them and you have children in this house. So what you're doing is wrong. All she kept saying to him is, tell her to leave me. Tell her. I said to Sean, I will leave her on one condition, that she gets out of my house. Because if I leave her and she comes at me, I am going to hurt her. Because now you're in my property, you've trespassed already. You have my children screaming, and that hasn't moved you one bit, which already has me at I'm revving at 100 for you. So if you want me to do what I don't want to do, then continue doing what you're doing. Anyway, first time Sean told her to leave, she didn't leave. At the second time, he was really firm in his voice and loud and stern in his voice. Where I said to Sean, I'm gonna let go. Make sure you get in between us the minute I let go, and make sure she gets out of my house. So I looked at him and I kind of nodded at him to say I'm going to let go now. I let go. The minute I let go, Sean came in between. Sean came in between the two of us and let her go, out the gate, and obviously had me left inside. But in that moment, I was like, did this just happen? So obviously I phoned Rob and told Rob what happened. Chris ran because my son went to tell Chris what's going on. So Chris came. I told him to call the armed response and the SAP and an and. So all of them came. Stories had to be exchanged. Obviously, her story is a very different story. When one has to defend yourself, you tend to not tell the truth. But, obviously, when everything happened, I was so angry. I was angry. I was crying. I was a hot mess. I was all over I was in pain. I actually think I fractured my wrist. But with that being said, I just realized that, I really feel like the devil knows that 2019 is the year that I am out full force when it comes to my blog, when it comes to doing what I'm doing. He doesn't send a man, because normally it's a man that will attack a woman and her children. Normally it's a group of men. It's rare that you hear a woman walking into another woman's house attacking a woman in front of her children. For me, I don't think I've ever heard anything like that. So the fact that that happened just made me realize that it's to kind of distract me and take me away, or make me stop doing what I'm doing, make me stop kind of planning what I've been planning in terms of my blog and woman and all these things. And it really made me sad that this is what life has come to. We've gotten to a point as parents where we won't even hear out the next person when it comes to our children, because our children is right. Our children are angels and princesses and princes, to a point where you'll hurt somebody, you'll traumatize a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, you'll upset a 13-year-old because your children are not wrong. Now, how do you know your children is not wrong? If you leave your children, you work out for the year, you come home once a month, you leave them at home, children under the age of 16. How do you know that your children are not doing wrong? Yes, I would also love to believe that my children are angels and all these wonderful sunshines, but no one's children is perfect. At some point we have to take wrong and we have to discipline our children. We cannot get to a point where we don't even listen to an adult telling us what our children are doing, what they see our children doing. And we bust out and we get violent with the next person. It's not okay. Anyone that knows me knows that I love my children, that I will do anything for my children. But with that being said, my children know if anyone knocks on my door and tells me they saw you doing A, B, and C, we have a problem. We're going to have a family meeting, or Rob and I are going to have a discussion with you. You are going to be punished. There's no PlayStation. There's no cell phone. There's no playing outside. You are grounded for a good couple of days, for a week, or whatever, depending on what you've done. My children know me. So as much as they know that I love them, they also best believe and they know that when I do wrong, my mother's coming for me. And I feel like yesterday, it wasn't even like that. This woman was not having anything about her children. Her children is not wrong. To take it as far as attacking another woman in her house with her children. So that really makes me sad that is what the world has come to. That us as parents have become we've become so, ignorant is not the word I want to use, but we've become so irresponsible in parenting our children that even if people want to tell us our children's wrong, we're not having it. We are not having it. And when our children is wrong, I never internalize it. I never take it personal, because I know what I do at home with my children. I know how I raise them. I know what values I put in them, So for me, if they are out in the world doing the wrong thing, I never take it personal, because I know what I teach you inside. So if you out there doing the wrong thing, that's on you. And I'm going to discipline you. But I'm not going to internalize it and make it's me and I feel guilty. I will never do that. So if we as parents feel guilty for certain things when it comes to our children, we cannot take that guilt, and wanna make it okay when someone else is telling us that our children is wrong. Now you want to defend your children in that moment. But in every other moment, you may be not there as a mother or whatever your reasons may be. Like, I don't want to get into people's business as to why you're not around and. But what happened yesterday is not okay. Like, as society, we need to check and recheck ourselves because it's not okay. So for me, I've opened up a case of assault. I feel like if you do not know how to behave or conduct yourself, it's unfortunate, but I will teach you how to, because you clearly don't know how to act. You don't know how to behave. You don't know how to speak. Whether it's outside or even in people's houses, you don't know. So I will teach you. So the next time someone comes to you about your children, you will think twice about your response or about your reaction. So for me, it was an eye opener as to what society has become, what we have become as parents, what we have become as mothers, that we have gotten to a point where we'll actually hurt each other. Yeah, so it really makes me sad that this is what it's come to, you know, and this is the very same people that I try and inspire and impact and give hope to on my blog, Mothers. But with that being said, um, I will, if you had to ask me this yesterday, I would have probably not even answered you, but she's a woman that I would now, that I want to inspire, that I want to impact. I feel like it's a challenge that I want to take on. She clearly has issues, she clearly has pain and things that she needs to deal with. Doesn't make it okay what she did yesterday. Um, but my challenge that I've added to my 2019 list is to impact her, to inspire her, and to give her hope for whatever reason it may be or for whatever reason she would need it for. With that being said, I'm much stronger today. I'm ready to take on the world. Super excited of what lies ahead for 2019 for 11 years of nappies. Um, Thank you to everybody, to every message, or for every person that sent me a message, whether it's WhatsApp, Facebook, anything. I really appreciate it. It really warmed my heart that my phone was so flooded last night. I really tried to take the time out to respond to everyone that has taken the time out to obviously pray for us and keep us in their thoughts and just take time out to send me the messages. You know, I had a friend of mine saying to me that anything I need, doesn't matter what it is, anything, please just phone me. So again, the words that I received from a few people were really deep and like really touching and really warmed my heart. Um, Rihanna Lester, much appreciated. Lindy, much appreciated. Annie, much appreciated. It just really, besides cutting me deep in a good way, it really warmed my heart, and I think it also just reminded me to just keep at it and not be distracted by what has happened. Um, and yeah, I think for people that really know me, know that I'm really strong and it takes a lot, a lot to get me down. I allowed myself my moment last night, to just be down and just to be disappointed and upset and all of those things and just cry my eyes out. Um, but today I'm good. I'm much better. Um, I said to Rob, we had a talk with the kids last night, but I said to him, I just think we need to just keep an eye on them, and then if needs be, just send them to maybe just speak to someone. Just, I don't want them harboring things, and or maybe thinking that it's okay. That's what happens, because it's not okay. You know, I think Eden was more worried about me, because the minute we walked in last night from the hospital, Rob had to literally tell Eden maybe about 20 times that I'm okay. You know, before I had a bath, she came and she hugged me, and she never said a word. She just looked at me, hugged me, pulled away, looked at me again, hugged me. You know, so that was she was doing. Ethan constantly sent his father messages while we were at the hospital. Is mommy okay? Because I'm worried about her, and. So again, it's Thursday. I'm grateful for the gift of life. I'm grateful for the strength that God has given me. I'm grateful for the children that God has blessed me with. Grateful for the husband that I have. My heart overflows with gratitude for the love and prayers, support that I've received from everybody. I really appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, that is me summed up, guys. My event on the 2nd of January 2019. Um, it is what it is. We can't change it, but we continue to pray for protection. We continue to pray for wisdom and guidance. And as much as I don't know her name, I will continue to pray for her and ask God to help her. I actually was saying to Rob, I feel like I want to be talking to parents and telling them to just stop. Stop and think before you react. Because really, our children are not angels, guys. I'd love to believe all our children as angels, but they're not. Far from angels, you know. So let's get that mentality out of our head that we are raising angels, you know, because we're not. As much as we try, we're not. You know, no one is perfect. There's no perfect parent. There's no perfect child. There's no perfect nothing. Nothing is perfect. You know, so let's respect one another. You know, respect what the next person has to say. Take it in. Don't internalize it and make it like it's, it's your fault, or but at least just take it in and hear what the next person has to say. And then decide how you want to react and respond. But not just lash out at people, because it's not okay. Not only do you disturb the adult, but you disrupt the children's lives. And for me, when it comes to the next generation, I'm just way too passionate for people to be disrupting their lives. Especially mine. I put in too much for someone to walk in here and just take all of that hard work away because you're unsure of yourself, or because you don't know who you are, or because you want to overcompensate, or because you are not being responsible, or because you have your own stuff that you have to deal with. It's not okay. So guys, have a beautiful Thursday. We're back in full swing. Next week, Mom's Chat, morning drive. We're hitting it off with our first Mom Crush Monday. So for 2019, every Monday we're crushing on a mom. So stay tuned for that. There's a lot happening and coming. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated. Have a beautiful Thursday and God bless.